my website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. How is it that when you're practicing and you want to change something that you're doing when you're performing or just playing, you look at your picking hand, you can see, I'm just doing the wrong thing here. I've been practicing, and you build some bad habits. And you want to change those. And you practice, and you get to the point where you practice the new thing, and you're really doing it well. And it really seems like, yeah, I'm learning it. And then the second you switch to just playing, you start playing that old lick again, then suddenly, your hand goes right back to what it's used to. Why is that? Well, it's because the reason is simple, super simple. So please get this, that the reason why is because practicing and playing are 2 different things. Practicing is a focus on building the skills, whereas when you perform or just play, you have a focus on the sound and, you have a focus on playing music, right? Even when you're just playing a lick. And that means that you're using the skills you practice. And if you've been practicing well and enough, you are building a skill that you can use unconsciously. You don't have to think about picking. You don't have to think about putting the fingers in the right place. It just happens because you've built the pattern with enough conscious focus for it to be unconscious suddenly, right? You focus consciously, and then you do that enough, and then that becomes an unconscious habit of how to hold the pick, how to play the chords, how to place your fingers, right? That's what we're doing. We're building stuff. We're building stuff, patterns of movement into the nervous system so that it's unconscious. So what happens when you go straight back to your bad habits when you play? It's simply because of this simple reason. You haven't repeated the patterns you want enough times or more times than the pattern you don't want. So let's say you've been holding the pick in a way you don't want to hold it anymore because you can see now that that doesn't work. If you've been, picking that way 1,000,000 times, then you need to pick in the most efficient way over 1,000,000 times, preferably 1.5 million instead. And that's really the level we want to get to, of course, right? Because the brain is going to take the most familiar technique it knows because now it's just a matter of performing and delivering and playing the notes. So it's just going to go to what's most familiar and what's most effective to it. And as long as you haven't repeated the perfect pattern that you want more than you've repeated the old pattern that you don't want, it's going to go to that place because it's the most familiar, right? So that's the breaking point. That's when you get to the 1,000,000, if that's the number of times you've been doing the old pattern. Once you are at that point, it starts tipping. And then you'll begin to see that your technique changes even when you're performing. It's as simple as that. And if you're in that situation, let me just give you a couple of words of encouragement. This is part of guitar playing. Building bad habits and doing the wrong thing or a less effective thing than anything else is simply part of practicing. You cannot practice perfectly from the beginning. It's just a matter of constantly being focused on that part of playing, the technique, the way you're doing it, the way you're practicing it, and then constantly going back, unlearning something, learning something new. The cool thing about it is that if you've been learning something that you didn't want, so you have to go back and learn something new and erase the bad pattern, then that new pattern will stick much more powerfully in your brain than if you hadn't learned the bad pattern. And that goes for every area of life, actually, that the more trauma that the brain has, the more it's going to really ingrain that new pattern because it's more effective. It has some experience in doing an ineffective thing. So it's going to cling on to the pleasure of doing the most effective thing. It's going to win through and I've done that a lot of times. And I know somebody who lost the ability to even play the guitar because of dystonia. And then they regained the ability by going back, practicing in a totally different way, And you can do anything in this area. So don't be discouraged by the fact that you have to go back. It's just part of it. Be a warrior. Don't be a whiner, right? Just amp up. Instead of amping down and go, oh, this is too much. What are you trying to achieve, basically, right? You're trying to play guitar. You're trying to have fun playing guitar. Why do you want those skills? Those amazing skills? Why is it that you're practicing them? So you can have even more fun playing guitar. It's all about fun playing music. It's all about the pleasure of music. So why are you making the whole game of practicing a bad one? Why are you making it into suffering? That doesn't make any sense. That's the complete opposite of what you wanted, right? And you can have fun playing guitar and practicing guitar on every level. And you never get to your final destination anyway. There's always more to learn. So cut and just start having fun, building your skills wherever you are and expanding, creating those Christmas presents for yourself that you can then use to play even, widen your ability to play even greater things and have even more fun and even more pleasure, right? You don't want to make it into a stressful, I should have, or, oh, I have to work my way back and now I built the wrong skills and I want to get there. You can't get there. It's always the same thing. Once you're there, you want to get somewhere else. And that's just a constant game always. So it's an illusion that there will really, because you're building your skills so slowly, so that when you reach the point where you thought you wanted to go, you don't even discover it. It's like, you're just going to wake up, people are going to say, wow, that was amazing. It was, right? You're not even conscious about it because you're constantly getting better. So it's like watching your kids grow. You don't see it. Right? So you have to stop the tormenting yourself and the frustration and the stress and because that's how it's going to be every single day from now on. It never gets any better. So you might as well stop that habit right now and just have fun developing, whatever it takes, right? And then have fun playing music. I hope that makes sense because it does. Objectively, truthfully, it really does make sense. It never changes, so stop the stressing and just work your way back into the perfect skill and know that once you worked your way back and you got rid of the bad habits because you have tons more repetitions than that, then it will stick like nothing else and you won't ever lose that skill again. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.